What is up, everybody? Guys, the White Sox scored more than 5 runs. They scored 8 runs. Luis Robert had himself a day, and the White Sox won. So, we don't have many Thursdays where the White Sox win, so I'm going to enjoy it. So, we got a good episode today as we're going to talk all things that happened this past week. We're going to talk about all the things that happened and that's going to be coming up in the next coming week and everything else. So, let's not waste any more time and let's get the guys in here. Let's talk about a win today. And let's talk about some new jerseys that we got coming tomorrow. What's up, Deech? How are you doing today?
What's up? And actually, I think this is the second week in a row that they've won on Thursday. I think they beat, wasn't it like the Twins or something last week? Because when I went to go sign in, it still had Bump the Dub under my name. So it must have been a win last
2 weeks
week.
in a row, man. We haven't had many. I remember last year there was like 3 weeks in a row where you didn't get any wins. It was bad. And then we got, of course, the man. What's up, Justin?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I saw they only have one win at night this season, so I think almost all of their wins have come on like these getaway day games. Right, dude, they did win last Thursday. They won Sunday to avoid the sweep in Oakland. It's a pattern, but you know what? A 333 win percentage would put them better than what they were last year, right?
Exactly. And the Rockies are on pace to break the Sox record. So
the Rockies won yesterday, though, I think.
Oh, yeah, they did.
But no, they're still, I think they only have 5 wins. It's still terrible. And yeah, I was just reading something, actually. The White Sox actually have a better run differential than the Guardians, Athletics, Blue Jays, Orioles, Angels, Nationals, Marlins, Pirates, and Rockies, of course, which, I mean, they're bad this year.
They're still like negative 20-something.
Well, that's just the blowout wins, and then they,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever gets the job done.
They have 4 wins they have 5 wins by 7+ runs, which is tied with the Cubs for the most in baseball. But then that's literally half their wins.
That's all of their wins for the most part, because they've got 7 out of 8 wins. They said today 6 of 7 were on the during the day. So now it's 8 or
you have 8
7
wins. Plus or by 7 or more runs. That's the run differential stat.
I just can't. Because they showed it today about like the ERA is down like 1%. It's from 5 to 4. They showed that the run differential at this point last year is -78.
Jesus.
So, and they have one more win than they did last year, like before the game started today. But even in like these 31 games in the first month, I feel like it's been a more watchable team, and it's obviously getting better, especially with the guy right below me, freaking Miguel Vargas. I don't know what happened to him, but freaking whatever he did to that baseball bat, it's working, hitting home runs. We don't see too many home runs anymore, so when it happens, man, it's exciting. It's so bad.
Well, he's like driving through the ball now, actually. I felt like early on he would like swing at a fastball and just be either like it seemed like his bat was over it every single time. Even when the pitcher would like throw it up, you're just like, what the hell are you like? I don't know. I mean, his swings, what is he on, an 8-game hitting streak now?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
So
yeah, after today, yeah. Because that was his last at bat, I think. He had one more, but yeah. Because they were talking about how he needed one more hit, but I mean.
So we went obviously 1-2 against the A's and 1-2 against the Brewers. So I mean, we're avoiding being swept, which is nice. But is there anything either of you that like? I know Justin had mentioned he didn't really watch too much of it. Is there anything that stuck out in either series worth noting at this point?
I mean, they did play semi better against the Athletics. I mean, the Athletics still are like the Athletics, and they seem to always give us a pain in the ass. But I mean, I felt like from what they did the first time, from being swept, and yeah, we did only win 1 game against them. I feel like it was just, and I think that's been the biggest thing is because they have been playing a lot of teams like back to back. Like they played the Red Sox, then the A's, then the Red Sox, so it's like that's kind of what it is. But I mean, there's really like nothing that has come out of it, obviously, other than Miguel Vargas doing what he's been doing. Edgar Carroll watching a catcher throw somebody out. Oh my God, it's amazing to watch that. As sad as that is, because I mean, catchers that we had for years that cannot throw somebody out and they're just stealing the bases like nothing. But man, Edgar goes after anybody, and it's nice to see. Other than what me and Deech were talking about, where he's giving me the Yohan Moncada PTSD with these neon colors, it's nice to see these guys. And as we saw today with Chase, first at bat gets a double, gets over, and Luis Robert gets him in. And that's another thing that, and they also, the first inning, they seem to be having the most, I think their most runs scored in like that like inning wise this year is the first. So, but yeah.
I do. Yeah, they did play better against Oakland or not Oakland, against the Athletics in Sacramento or wherever it was.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I
said Oakland. Home. I think I had to remake the short last week 3 times because I kept saying Oakland. I was like, oh my god, stop! I was like, it's not, or I kept So and Soderstrom or whatever the heck his name is finally came down back to earth and learned that he isn't like some home run hitter when he was hitting home runs every other at bat in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, in the starting pitching, I think too, you weren't seeing as many pitches where they were just like throwing a fastball right down the middle, which was getting just crushed out of the ballpark. When they're down. I mean,
yesterday was probably their worst defensive game, probably that we've seen maybe all year in a while. I think yesterday was probably, and as you said earlier, or we were talking about it before we started, Shane Smith only gave up 1 earned run, and they lost freaking before they blew it open with that double. I mean, we were in that game for a while, so. Again, it's all about the defense and these errors. And yesterday it was like watching a T-ball team kick the ball around, I swear.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see them be able to bounce back from that too. That's the thing, like even with Will. Like I feel like even during the post and pregame shows, like he's doing stuff. Or even with Lennon Sosa, like the play yesterday, like you gotta run into the guy, like he said. And the fact that Will went in and talked to him during a pitching change. Pedro would have waited until after the game today to do it, or whoever that. And that I just feel like that shows that like they're not gonna let it, because that could have been an out, and that could have changed the whole inning if that guy didn't get to third base because Lennon let him go through. And gotta take one for the team sometimes. Listen, what? Get a win any way you can when you got 8 of them.
Yeah. Justin, do you have anything to add?
No, I didn't watch. I'll just be candid. Haven't watched much of them at all between the last show and now. I was out of town last weekend and swept up in basketball and hockey the last couple nights, and then today these Thursday games during the workday. I mean, I just don't even. I can try, but I didn't today. Obviously I get all the score updates and I consume enough of Twitter that I feel like I have somewhat, of an understanding of what's going on. But like when you guys talk about like the at-bats or like Deech, you're talking about the adjustments in the starting pitching, I can't really speak as much to that. It seemed like it was good. The lineup today was like I guess I can live with this lineup. I don't really want to talk about like the Elko thing because that's so tired. Obviously, would rather see him in there than Vaughn, but it's at least they're giving us a couple reasons to watch now with Chase back, and I'll try to be better this upcoming week. I don't think I'll be on quite the same schedule.
And I think that's perfect thing. We're not seeing the Joshua Palacios or the Gage Workman.
Didn't he homer the other night? Well, Workman got hurt.
Well, no, I'm just saying like guys like that where it's just like today's lineup felt like an actual MLB lineup of just not guys just throwing in there, because that's what it always feels like.
A bad MLB lineup, but an MLB lineup. But yeah, I see Benny's homered a couple more times.
I think he leads the team right now.
Like I have their stats pulled up. He does. Robert is right behind him. It was good to see him, even more than the hitting, making a couple nice plays in the field today too. I saw the couple nice plays he had out there. The one in the first was, shit. We're talking about a completely different game if they give up a grand slam in the first inning.
Yeah, we lose 8-0.
Right, exactly. They're going out and putting up 8. So, that's nice. I just kind of want to see him look like he cares at all, which I really don't think is asking for a lot.
No.
So, it's good. But, yeah, it's if they can keep just winning these getaway games semi-consistently, they won't lose more games than last year. So, That's my analysis. You just avoid getting swept and don't go on these massive losing streaks.
Yeah, I don't know if I can go 2 full episodes of watching stray losses again. They were literally, I was looking at, they went, I forgot that they lost like 14 in a row, and then they lost, was it 21 or 22, or they were close to, I don't even know how we lived through that. How the hell did we do that? That feels like a lifetime ago, and it was literally
wasn't one of the losing streaks prior to them stripping down the team too?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
I always remember the one against the Marlins.
Stripped down, but I mean,
oh yeah, I just remember a couple of the weekend series, like the Pirates and the Marlins were the two that always got me last year because, of course, obviously Jake Berger had to hit a walk off against us, and then freaking, I forgot who did it against the Pirates, but man, trauma.
And we won't get into it too much. I know you didn't. I mean, the Tim Elko thing, I just think is funny at this point.
What do you mean? That's what this whole episode should be about, is Tim Elko. That's what everybody wants.
It's too tired at this point.
No. I mean, but I do think we got to talk about it because, I mean, the man is literally hitting everything in sight. I mean, what else does he have to do to be called up? I mean,
they don't want to call him up. They aren't going to call him up. That's more the point that I'm at. Like, someone said it at the beginning of this week. Someone on Twitter was like, you had the off day Monday. You were starting a home series Tuesday. They're like, just had the great weekend. That was the spot, and they didn't do. I can't. I mean, maybe it'll happen at some point. They obviously are giving. I mean, we're all going to share the same opinion. They've given Andrew Vaughn way too long of a leash. I don't know if Tim Elko is going to be good. I mean, maybe he's not, but you're never going to we at least should know if we have anything there.
I don't think that Vaughn is out of options. I believe they could option him to AAA and just be like, figure your shit out in Charlotte for like a couple weeks, and we're going to see what Elko can do. And there's no like love lost there at that point. I mean, Vaughn the Brewers, they pitched around Benny yesterday to get to Vaughn.
Yeah, that was the bases loaded, right? Where he grounded into the second baseman. Or to the second baseman.
Dude, the only person on the team with a worse OPS than him is Jacob Amaya. I mean, unless you count Jones or Workman, which I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were here for a cup of coffee.
Then Palacios, Michael A. Taylor, Bobby Dahlbeck. I mean, names that he's been worse than, but like that's just horrible.
Especially when he was the one that took over for probably the best first baseman that we've had since freaking Frank Thomas and Paul Konerko.
Well, we went Thomas to Konerko to Vaughn to Abreu, so we
were
spoiled for a while there. Vaughn.
I'm just saying they chose Vaughn over Abreu, and yes, Abreu didn't do anything in the Astros, but who knows? Maybe Abreu had whatever, and yes, it is what it is. But I just. Watching Vaughn go up there and hit into a double play or a ground ball is not fun anymore.
Astros over the White Sox. I don't.
Well, that too. Now he's sitting at home.
Cool.
From what I remember, I believe the Sox only offered Abreu 1 year, $20 million, and the Astros like tripled it. So he obviously knew he was on the decline and was like, "I'll cash in on this."
We gotta take the money. I get it. I'm just saying, it's frustrating watching Vaughn do this, especially we talked about it last week. The fact that Rutschman and Witt were taken before him just makes it even worse.
It does seem like they're not playing Vaughn at first base as much as you would expect, honestly.
Yeah, Sosa's been playing it a lot too, it seems like.
And Vargas, I think, played, was it yesterday?
Yesterday or the day before, yeah. I also think can't Talkman play first base, and I think he just got sent down, or he will be getting a rehab assignment soon. I think Brooks said yesterday or something.
Has Dahlbeck not been playing there too?
No, he did too. Yeah, he's played a game there too, and he came in last night for defensive, or even I think maybe even today too. He came in for defensive replacement. So
moving off of Vaughn and Elko, the bullpen I just can't figure out. I mean, they're so up and down. I really don't want to see Jordan Leisure ever in a high leverage spot ever again.
Well, you were there, and you probably have the best like view for like us. Like, I mean, with some of these guys, I mean, like, because he was the one that gave up the double yesterday, right?
I don't even remember. It all just starts to like blend together. But I mean, there's like 3 guys who you're like, all right, did Boozer do better? I don't even know. The 3 that I feel like you can rely on are Vassell, Boozer, and I'm spacing on
Well,
the
they
last
brought
one.
Allard back. Oh,
Yeah, but Eller's got lit up before too. I don't know. I just can't
Eastberg or
figure it
whatever.
out.
Or
And then
whatever.
Gilbert went down for Ellard. They're not consistent, and it drives me absolutely insane when it's like you come in from the bullpen and just walk the first guy. Even today, Sean Burke, like he tap danced out of that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like a boost of confidence that he needed, but you're sitting there like watching, like, just absolutely floored that you've just walked the bases loaded in the first inning. So
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Thankfully he did, but it could have been really bad today. And this is like they were talking about how he got hit in the leg and everything that affected him for a few starts. But I mean, like, hopefully now that it is May and hopefully it gets a little warmer. I mean, we saw the way they play during the day, and when it's nicer out, I mean, let's hope that kind of helps too. Because I mean, if it's nicer out, they get a better thing. But Sean Burke, yeah, I mean, I just hope that he continues to do at least what we saw opening day and today, because in between that, it has not been good at all. And you cannot continue to burn the bullpen, because as we saw with the Brewers today, that guy literally could. I think they said he threw two strikes out of 17 pitches or something like that. They literally just left that poor guy in until they couldn't anymore. So, so. And I know you talked about it with Clevinger, and we don't want to see him, but if I don't even know.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think people realize. There was a tweet one day. I don't know if it was Scott Merkin or someone else, and they said he cleared waivers, went to Charlotte, and they're stretching him out as a starter. I'd have to imagine if one of these guys in the bullpen doesn't figure it out, you can option them, DFA them. You send Bryce Wilson over to the bullpen and have him throw like long relief, and then you tell Clevinger, who I personally don't think he has it anymore, but maybe it was just a funk of I am not a reliever or have never been successful as a reliever. But either way, you have guys. Nick Nastrini, I thought like I bring him up. Iriarte, I don't know who, but I did see Noah Schultz through I think his first outing that was like 6 innings, which was good to see. Which means his arm is stretching out. But the other thing with the minors, Colson being sent to Arizona, I don't even have words for it anymore. Do either of you have an opinion on that, or
So for me, because like I'll be honest, like I don't really. So like, does that mean he's like, is that like lower than like? So is he just going back to like work on all of his mechanics? Is that pretty much what it
They're
is
sending
then?
him to practice. I mean, well, they they might have a rookie ball team out there or something. I mean, it's much of a. I mean, they're not going to demote him to Double A because there's nothing that doing that is going to do for him. So they're just.
So he's still in Charlotte. He's just like in Arizona, like rehabbing, kind of just like working on stuff.
Rehab. Yeah, he's healthy and in rehab is probably the best way
like work on his swing, right?
Yeah,
was the main focus.
Well, and I think that's the problem is just like he's the guy that everybody has been so hyped on and everything, and is like as much as like it's been nice to see like some of these guys come up and see like the Braden Montgomerys go from like single A to Winston, and then like other guys go from Winston to Birmingham, so on and so on. It just like, I mean, it goes back to being with these prospects. Like until these guys actually show up and do something, you can't really like do anything, because as I was talking about earlier, I didn't even know what the heck and where Brooks Baldwin came from, and the fact that he's one of the good young players in the game and could be made like he's just it's just sometimes these John Does come out of nowhere, and these guys that are supposed to be so great. I mean, even like Spencer Torkelson for the Tigers. Yes, the Tigers are the best team in the American League, and Justin, I think you actually called that during our preview show or something like that. They were going to be one of the best teams, but I mean, he was one that has sucked for a long time, but they brought him up, and I think he finally figured it out. So I don't know what to do about Colston, but I just haven't invested into any of these guys yet. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's my reaction. Is this is why you don't? I mean, if you haven't learned by now not to worry, not to attach yourself to prospects, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I can't figure out. Just the whole minor league system. Like you have Brian Ramos, I think, chilling in Charlotte. I think Getz almost added too many veterans when the injuries started to pile up, and now he's like, "Well, I can't just cut all these guys loose." Because I mean,
later,
Austin Slater, I think he's
it was
hurt.
I know he's hurt.
Yeah, but
Michael
that's
Taylor.
the thing, because now they're sitting here hyping up Rojas is like in his rehab assignment in Charlotte now. So I mean, even if you wanted to bring Brian Ramos up, how? I just don't see the like spots on the roster.
get rid of Jacob Amaya for the love of God and send him to fucking Cactus League baseball.
Well, you would assume he'd be the one who's gone when Rojas is, but then it's like, so if you want to, I don't know. I just can't figure out what exactly is going on there. Not that most of it matters. I feel Braden Montgomery is the one who I think they're invested in kind of like moving through the system quickly and seeing what they have, which hopefully pays off. But
does he play two positions or is it just one?
I think he's primarily a right fielder, I believe, but I think they've been playing him in center field some. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Got some La Pantera somewhere else.
Well, yeah. That's the thing. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
I was going to say, Braden Montgomery is not going to be up till like 2027, right? Maybe.
Yeah. No, he's really young.
Like the end of next season if he flies through the system, but.
Yeah, no. I say he'll be in maybe AA by the end of the year. I said that's where I'll say he gets to at least. Because I mean, I think he's gonna go pretty quickly, but I mean, I still think you got to give him time again. Like,
so.
Yeah, and obviously Mydrith returned, which was a little bit of a spark to the lineup.
Can we get this guy like a Velcro helmet or something? Because the helmet does not stay on the kid no matter how fast or slow he runs.
I'm just excited for him to be back. I mean, he started off kind of hot and then got hurt, but obviously you would assume he's going to be part of the future here. So,
well, it's nice to watch. And the biggest thing I think about this whole entire season so far is they're not, and yes, they still do it, but they haven't been swinging at so many pitches where it's nice to watch them just take 4 pitches in a row, get a walk the bases loaded, and then get it, whatever. It's just like we haven't seen that in so long that like they would do that. It just. And that's why I think I get so frustrated with Vaughn and even Robert. I mean, some of the balls that they swing at, it's like, what are you swinging at? Like, they're so out of the strike zone. They like what? Come on.
Yeah, Vaughn has never learned how not to swing at that garbage.
So, speaking of Robert, though, obviously his numbers are not great to start, but did he steal another base today? I didn't get to watch the whole game. Okay, so he's at 13 stolen bases now. I mean, he's on pace for a fuck ton of stolen bases. So
and walks.
I just don't know, like, what is his trade value if he gets his average up and hits? I don't know what you can get. Unless you're going to throw him like the buyout and everything, like they did with Eloy. But Eloy got a reliever who I don't even think is on the team or in the organization anymore.
No, actually, Eloy is still in the Rays. They were talking. I saw an article on it a couple days ago. It was
I was saying the pitcher that we got for him. I don't think he's even in the organization anymore.
Yeah, you're not getting a king's ransom for Robert unless he would have already had to get off to like an MVP kind of year. He's a rental. Most teams who are, they're probably pretty solid in center field if they're competing. I'm not saying that's a blanket statement. There are a lot of teams, I'm sure, who could use him. But no, you're getting at best like a top 10 prospect in a system, like in a team system, and a flyer guy or two. You're not, and I mean that's might even be like a high end of it at this point. It helps to have a guy who can run down balls like he can and steal bases in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, I mean, you said if the numbers get up, we'll see what happens. They got a couple more months now before the deadline. Like there's not. have to get off to it. He'd have to start really raking.
Just play like how he did today. We'll be great.
Yeah,
that's it.
That would be something.
Just rob a grand slam and just hit 4 every day. Just start racking them up. We'll be good. And we play the Astros this weekend, so maybe they can try to click into that. They still have that stupid commercial with the chef where they talk about that game. I don't want to talk about that game no more. But yeah, play the Astros next. Damn Astros.
And then really the only other thing I was going to get into in regards to the pitching was the opener strategy that they employed for, 4 games in a row. I mean, I think it's fine in some situations. I don't think 4 starters out of 5 in the rotation should be regularly having a guy open for them. I mean, if they're there's in the depths of the fan base, there's certain fans that think maybe Davis Martin or someone like that may get flipped at the deadline. You can't be having him pitch with an opener and think someone's going to how many teams use openers in baseball right now?
The Rays,
like consistently. I just don't. It's not like you're selling a guy who is now used to not having to pitch the first fucking inning. I just don't get it.
I mean, I think it's good, and I think it was good for the first few games. But I think the problem is now every team knows to put that in their game plan that could be an option. Because the first few games, I don't think anybody really expected it, and I think it was good for some of these young pitchers like a Cannon and stuff, because even John and Steve said it, where they're not having to face these guys 3 times to where like they're able to go longer. We saw like Cannon go all the way. I think he went all the way to the 9th with 2 outs with the
but is that good though? That these guys, how the hell are they going to learn if guys are just avoiding the top of? They're just avoiding their job. You're starting pitcher. You take the ball in the first inning and you go up to the top of the order. I don't know. It's babying them, which is something I know that they do. In my opinion, at least, it's stupid. I don't know why. You said it was 4 games in a row.
I didn't realize there was that many. I thought it was 2.
Yes, they did, because I think they did it for Sean Burke first, then they did it for Davis Martin, then they did it for Cannon, and then Bryce Wilson. They let Gilbert, I think, go 2 innings, which I can understand for Bryce Wilson.
Different because that's a rotation spot that they lost with Perez.
Yeah.
But for Cannon, Burke, and Davis Martin, take the ball in the first inning, man.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings on it. It helped Cannon a bit because Cannon wasn't getting deep in any of the games that he pitched.
Well, I think that's the biggest problem with him is that's the one guy I think maybe it could work for, is because again, if you could get him to pitch more and go and yes, maybe it is babying and everything, but that's the biggest thing where it's trying to get these guys to go more innings. But again, you can't do it with everybody, especially somebody like you said, Justin, with Davis Martin. I just don't think that, again, Davis Martin, I mean, he's been here for how long? I mean, he said Tommy John. We saw him when we were trying, I think he was here in 2018. So I think that's the thing where maybe with some guys, but I feel like Davis Martin is somebody that should be able to grab the ball at the first inning at this point right now. So, but
I just see it, if it becomes a habit, then when you actually are trying to, if potentially any of these guys, obviously Wilson's not going to be part of any future rotation when they
he's not
make
QB1.
the effort to contend. You're going to have to spend a decent amount of money on your bullpen then, because if you're going to have an opener, you're not going to sit there and throw Joe Schmo out there if you're trying to actually win ball games to sit there and open for Davis Martin. I see it in certain scenarios. I thought they were going to try and do it for Shane Smith start, where I was just if I was a pitcher, this would kind of fuck with my head a bit, because I'm going to have to go warm up in the bullpen for a start essentially that I'm making in the second or third. I don't know.
I mean, it got us a win, so I mean, I guess that worked. But again, I think that's the biggest thing is like you said, that if it consistently continues to do it, I feel like now we need to go through a couple rotations where it's not happening. Besides, obviously, the Martin Perez spot, unless they bring up a Clevinger and Estrini or whoever starting pitcher is ready on the AAA. So
yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, But again, I think the guy it would benefit the most, or maybe happening more often, would be Cannon. But again, like, Justin makes a good point. Don't baby him, and they need to be able to go out there because, as you said, what are we going to do? Winning the World Series with an opener in Game 7? I mean, that's just not realistic here. Speaking of that, we saw John Garland in the booth yesterday. Man, that guy he did not care, and he just was like having the time of his life. He just, man, I love John Garland. It was nice to see him back, and it was kind of funny that they brought him back on just like a random ass freaking Wednesday.
Like, they had a season ticket holder event for him. There was like a chalk talk before the game where you go in like the patio.
Is that where all those pictures were from? People were taking. They're like, I met John Garland.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just thought,
I went to one last year. It was with Schriffen. I mean, it's kind of cool because they get to actually just like be themselves and kind of like tell their story, which some players, like, while they're playing, you really have no idea like much about them.
And there is one thing I do want to say that he did mention. I don't know if you got Justin. I know you said you didn't. Well, you were at the game, so you didn't. But he did say something in the booth that did really stand out to me. He did make a comment about how like these pitchers throw like 100 pitches, 80 pitches, and everything else like that, and go in innings. And he said it. I mean, it depends for players, and people were like, you might be at like 80 pitches and you could still throw 40 pitches, or you might be at 80 pitches and you're gassed. It just depends on like the day and the person and everything else. And I don't know why that just stood out to me, because it was just like, he's absolutely right. Where like, maybe you're just having a really good day. It's really warm out. Maybe you feel like you could throw 30 more pitches or whatever it is. So it was just somehow, and it's very interesting to learn from these pitchers that from 20 years ago and how different it is from pitching from like 2005 to now in 2025, because imagine an opener in 2005 with Mark Burley starting in the third inning. You know what I mean? Like, that would never happen 20 years ago. So I just thought that was really interesting because he was in the booth, and I forgot what inning it was, but it was a pretty like long inning. So, yeah. So I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely true. We'll see if we even get anywhere near where these guys are having 100 pitch outings. A massive victory.
I mean, you're right. Yeah. I think the guy for the Brewers actually pitched. I think he got to 100. Obviously, it's the Brewers, but I mean, not too many pitchers throw over 100 anymore. It's kind of like it's very rare, and that
is a dying.
And it was. I remember so long. I remember for so long that these pitchers would throw 100, 120. I mean,
yeah.
They didn't care. I think Randy Johnson was always the one that I always remember doing. Like, he just did not care. And every time he faced the White Sox, he always killed us. That knuckleball, man, was sick. But yeah. Anyway, what else you got?
I mean, if no one else has anything other than that, it was just the week ahead. I mean, before next Thursday, they have 3 at home against Houston.
We're not off. I don't think we're off until after Mother's Day. I think we play every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have 4 against Kansas City.
Is that in Kansas City? I forgot when they showed the schedule today.
Yeah, it's 4 at Kansas City.
Well, we're going to win 2 games this week, guys. And get swept in KC. I'm sure we're going to have 3 walk-offs by fucking Bobby Witt Jr.'s ass. Man, I hate that stadium. That stadium gives me too much trauma and PTSD and just all of it. I everything gives me PTSD, but man, that stadium has had some bad memories.
Oh, before we move on for the last thing with the Sox, did you guys see the video of the fan just like flopping over the railing? I was gonna see if you wanted to talk,
right? Yeah, I don't know if he's okay.
I don't
know either. Man, I mean, I saw something on Twitter that said he was like hammered and just like kind of lost his balance and flipped over. But either way, you're like someone sent me that video in like a group chat, and I was like, oh my Lord.
Like that's why I asked you if you were going to jump. Like, could you just imagine like standing at your seat at the 500 level and like flipping over? Because like you would land in the 100 level, but like this guy was in the, I just can't. I was shocked when I first saw it. Because at first I didn't see like the caption. I just clicked on it because I just scrolled through X, and I was like, what am I looking for? And I'm like, all of a sudden, I saw this person like fall. I'm like, this can't be real. I mean, because you see people go
but at guarantee or at rate field, I feel like you would have to try to flip out. Like you would have to be
for
physically
sure.
making effort to like fall over.
Especially over that railing, they don't make that look easy. That thing's like steep.
Well,
And
Well, it's like a railing, and they have like a half wall that's slanted. So even if you were to like fall into it, technically it's gonna push you like away from falling
in the
over.
you're talking about on the 500 level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it's like though at PNC Park. I mean, that was just you just all of a sudden see this guy just like flop. Where it was like
he said, "I'm tired of watching this." This is what happened. Now I just can't. And I do obviously hope he's okay and everything. But I mean, that was just awful. And that's again, people, why you don't do stupid things and you stop drinking after the 7th inning or go home. Like it's not that complicated. I don't know why people do that stupid stuff because he's gonna get in trouble for it. And that's the thing. It's like, yes, he's injured and everything, but if he does recover, he's gonna be hurt because you can't go on the field. I mean, the fact that this still happens so often is just crazy. These people still do that. That's why I texted you. I was like, are you like, what would you like? You talked about like,
he wasn't trying to go on the field.
Well, obviously,
yeah,
I'm not saying that he was trying to go on the field.
Charges. I mean, he like at one point I was like, did he just snap his neck? I mean, it looked like bad, like it could like take his life. I don't know that they'll go after him because he's probably gonna have a ton of medical bills.
I don't think that this is like this is a terrible thing that happened.
Yeah.
Well,
but no, I just figured I'd at least point it out. I saw a ton of discussion on Twitter or X or whatever earlier. So, but no, I mean, yeah.
All the catch the guy on the Blue Jays made, not that shit.
I mean,
that though.
You know, I
did see that. That was nuts.
That was
not. That was where he like.
I mean, that should also go to
and wound up like.
It should also go to Pittsburgh
like,
too.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, that was nuts. He completely. I mean, he fell. And it was almost terrible. It went from like the worst play ever to one of the most improbable catches I've ever seen.
And then the one thing I do want to say also with Pittsburgh, I think is shouldn't there have been security there, because I feel like even at like the Sox game, there's always security at like the first like level where like maybe and obviously like stuff. I don't know.
They can't
don't have
there because they're in the way.
Yeah.
The Sox don't have like upper level seats in the outfield. Wasn't that in the outfield?
Yeah, it was in the outfield. That's what I'm saying. Where I just feel like there's like I don't know. I just don't know how you just I don't know. Obviously, every stadium's different, and I just don't know how you like flip over that. That's what just like it's just like I don't know. You just
Vargas might be back.
Also, the one other thing that happened this week, and I don't really know. Do you? I want to say the thing about Duran from the Red Sox. All that nonsense, everything that was said and everything, and whatever. And we don't want to get into all of it, but I mean, you should not say that stuff. And thankfully, that guy should never be back in loud in baseball, because that was awful. Because people have been through bad things, and so. I know that was another thing that did happen this week in the MLB. Also, Giancarlo Stanton went on the 60-day DL, and it looks like he will most likely not be back for a while. So, Yankees just never can seem to get through with Stanton and Judge for a full season, can they?
Judge has been mashing baseballs, though.
It's one or the other, I swear. They just like, but so I still can't believe the Yankees won the World Series last year.
I don't think they're going this year, but the AL is pretty weak. So I mean, you really don't know.
I mean, it really is. The fact that nothing against the Tigers, but the fact that they're the best team in baseball, like it's kind of just crazy.
They got good pitching, man.
Scooble's a stud.
It's finally working out after all these years. I'm talking about the Casey Mize and the Scoobles and the Flaherty's and all of that. We don't have to face them again for a while, do we? Because last time we did, it wasn't fun. I swept. Oh, Eric's excited. We got Eric. It's the Sox against his favorite team. Eric, what do you think's gonna happen in this series? Sorry, I just saw the comment pop up. So,
what do you guys think? The 3 out of Houston, are they gonna win any of them?
I think hopefully 2, but most likely 1. And then I have no hope for Kansas City. I feel like we're just gonna go in there and get our asses kicked, because until they show me something else with Kansas City, I just
I mean, they'll probably win both series. That seems to be their thing.
That's their thing this year. It's not getting swept. It's at least winning one in each series. I mean, hey, you know what? Each win at a time just keeps getting it. I want to see. I want to look it up right now. When the heck did we get our 8th win last year? Because I know it was in like the middle of May, and I think today was the most runs they've scored. Like, or oh no, I lied because they scored more than 8 this year. They scored 9, didn't they?
So for the Houston series, it's Framber Valdez versus Cannon. Hunter Brown versus Davis Martin. So Davis Martin's gonna have to pitch his ass off because Hunter Brown has like a 1.22 ERA and is 4-1. And then the Sunday game is kind of up in the air. You have Bryce Wilson versus Lance McCullers, who has not pitched in 2 years and is returning. So we'll see how that goes.
Pitch 8 innings with 1 hit because that's what happens against the White Sox. It's always the guys that make their MLB debut or come back from an injury that learned how to pitch again. Yeah, I feel like they could probably win one out of there. It is at home, too. We got the debut. We haven't even talked about. Aren't you guys excited about these new jerseys? Where's the hats and the jerseys? I thought we'd have our own custom by now.
So,
I mean, now that I've seen them in person, they're not like awful, but I'm not buying them.
Terrible. The words on the striping down the fucking pants and around the sleeve.
Oh, I haven't seen the pants yet. I mean, I saw the mannequin.
Itself sucks. It looks like some cheap knockoff bullshit.
I love you, Justin.
The black hat is okay, not the red, not the one with the red with the pinstripes. The black hat is all right.
The hat is definitely
thing about them. They are ridiculous. I mean, they are absolutely ridiculous. They are ridiculous. It looks like something that they would sell. Deech, shout out your old stomping grounds at Champs Sports. Like, buy the Bulls.
Did you used to work at Champs?
Style basketball.
Yeah.
Buy the Bulls style baseball jersey. Like,
yeah,
straight out of like 2008 or some shit. Like, it's horrible.
So you will not be buying one?
No, I won't buy it.
Oh my god! I mean,
that's the thing though. People were going crazy. That they knew that they were going to sell though. Like, regardless of your opinion, they were going to sell because it's the Bulls, and you have so many people who are Bulls fans where they're like, "Oh, if I don't want like a Bulls jersey, like I can buy this and wear it to like a Bulls game and shit like that." So,
no, I mean, you're right. You're 100% right. I mean, from a marketing standpoint, they probably, yeah. I mean, it is probably a winner, but I think that they're just so ugly. I just can't believe it. We were so blessed to be. We were one of the few teams that had an actually good City Connect uniform, right? Which they were still my least favorite in the rotation. I still wish that none of these existed, but they're horrible, man. They're just terrible. I hate the pinstripes on top, and then you have mismatched pants without pinstripes. They're disgusting.
Don't you have a Bulls shirt on right now?
You have a Bulls shirt on. I do. Actually.
The only positive that came out of it, though, is they did announce that they're keeping the Southside ones in the rotation. I don't know which day. That might just be a random, like we wear kind of whenever.
Yeah, because they are wearing these now every Friday home game for Chicago Sports Net Access, whatever the hell that they do.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to see like how it looks in person. But
are you going to buy one?
No matter what, I can't take it seriously with the black pants.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at. I didn't even look at the pants. I didn't even notice. I didn't even look at the stripes down.
So okay, but you said the black pants bother you. Would you have preferred they had red pants with like black pants?
No. I preferred that they dug themselves a hole with the jersey design to begin with. There was nothing. No, I wouldn't have preferred that. If you're gonna, of course, I appreciate you asking, but no, they pigeonholed themselves with the jersey to begin with.
It's not right.
I just had to ask because I was like, "There's no way I could see you being like red pants with black pinstripes would just they'd look like assholes out there."
No, well, they're gonna look like assholes either way. These are like the bad the player weekend crap.
Oh God, those were awful.
Put out there.
I think I sold my Jose Abreu bobblehead that I got for that specific reason. I
I
hated
have it just because. Was that not also the MVP one?
probably.
I don't even know. It doesn't matter. I have that. That one's here somewhere. I had one out of the yo-yo jersey.
Man,
No, there's not a whole deep.
and that's the thing, and that's the biggest thing because now they're and you know what, people people might like them, and I'm sure all the people that are big Bulls and Sox fans are probably in love with them, and they kept showing them during the game today. Every other person, hey, look, there's a new jersey and everything, whatever, and that's all it is. It's all about the money, and that's all these city
Bulls guy, but it's got nothing to do. For me, it's such an unserious look. They look like a softball team. They look like a men's league team. I mean, it's just.
You're absolutely right. Like one of those like.
Look, and to go back to it, like a big problem is that like if these were the first City Connects they rolled out, I would still hate them, but I wouldn't feel as strongly as like there are a lot of bad City Connects out there, so I would just be like, yeah, whatever. Everyone's City Connect sucks. They had good ones.
Yeah.
Why did they feel the need? Not every team has even gotten their first City Connect yet.
I know,
and we doubled down and gone to a lower tier of them.
Sometimes you don't need to change what's not broken.
Again, I just am interested to see the.
You're gonna have to take like a picture or something, Deachin. Like, I don't know.
I'm interested to see, like, I don't know if you saw the picture with Luis Robert when it's like showing his like cleats or shoes or whatever, and they're just like the entire shoe is red. Like, that's where it's just like, okay, this looks fucking.
It's gonna be like Yohan Moncada on crack with all red, and we're gonna have.
I mean, like, the jersey itself, like, as a fan, you can obviously like make an outfit out of it. You could wear a Bulls hat. You could wear any sort. I mean, you could put like
game. It's nothing.
Yeah.
No drag on that. I mean, red and black always plays, but
I just think like the entirety of the uniform is rough.
Like, yes. When you take a step back and you're like a major league team is taking the field in these, and they are not the worst City Connect jerseys out there. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I can't off the top of my head just rattle off who
had the Padres. No, not the Padres.
I do like the Padres. The new Giants ones stink. I don't like the Red Sox ones because they're not Red Sox colors.
Yeah, all the yellows. Yeah, right.
Coming this year too. I mean, they're just not. They're not good. They're not good.
I won't just let the players pick a nickname for the back of their jerseys and not change the color and just that's it.
Well, I just don't know why they needed new ones. It just is what it is, and people are mad at. Obviously, they're mad at Reinsdorf and how that's going to go. But like,
Reinsdorf don't care. He's just sitting in money right now. He don't give.
They could have designed something better if they wanted to do this crossover.
Well, the same people that'll bash Reinsdorf will be sitting there rocking their fucking City Connect jerseys within the next couple of weeks. So I mean, it's cyclical at this point. I mean, I can't take someone seriously. Like, I obviously don't have as much of an issue with Jerry as some people. But if you're one of those motherfuckers that like daily is just sitting there bashing the man, and I see you rocking like a City Connect jersey that you bought for like $160, and God only know. I mean, it's like, come on. I mean,
man, why is everything going up? I know I always bring wrestling references into the channel all the time, but did you guys see that there were $40,000 for SummerSlam tickets this year? Who the hell is going to be able to pay $40,000 to go to an event for a weekend? Like, it's crazy the amount of money that even like I feel like, obviously stocks are still cheap, but I mean, like, the prices of these things are just going up, and I'm not spending that much money for a jersey. Shit, I bought a Yohan Moncada Southside jersey, and I'm so mad. Out of all the players I picked, that's the one I pick. Like an idiot. Should got Robert.
So I'm gonna say
what
we will win.
Well, it's possible.
2 against Houston and 2 against Kansas City.
Man, if they have 12 wins next week, I'm running around and fucking shit. 12 and 20. What? That would be 12 and 26.
I mean, they started off rough, so no matter how. But I honestly, I don't know if they can hit. And you would have to think if they could start to hit consistently, it started to pick up. I mean, you have like Benintendi hitting pretty consistently. You have Vargas hitting now.
I think the biggest thing is just getting it like continuously with like we saw today with like the bases loaded. They got the walk. It was 5-0, and then Robert smacked the ball over the center fielder's head. Where how many times do we see bases loaded, nobody out, and they can't get a run no matter how hard they tried? And that's the thing. It just capitalized when these pitchers can't throw a strike and just be able to do it, because that's what you're going to be able to do. And they've been doing it where they've been able to play small ball and be able to get a guy on first, second, steal a base, get him in and stuff. And that's how you're going to beat these teams like Houston, and especially the Royals, because, I don't know what the record was against the Royals last year, but I'm sure it wasn't the best. And it never
we won 1 game or 2 games. It was not good.
We did also end a 9-game losing streak against the Brewers today. Thankfully, because I walked into a bar yesterday. Remember, guys, I now live in Milwaukee now, so I walk around with my White Sox hat. It's so much fun, bro. Literally, I just got talk shit out for 30 minutes while I'm waiting for my barbecue wings, just trying to enjoy my day. Man, thankfully they won today.
But no, the last point I would have is if you're Will Venable, I mean, you got to start considering a pinch hitter for Andrew Vaughn in some of these situations. I mean, he's just bad. I don't know.
Especially in high leverage situations where like he had the bases loaded and he got the double play. Or and it was so funny. I literally said it too. I think it was yesterday or even today. I was like, watch, Vaughn's gonna be the one to end the inning, and that's exactly what happened. Everybody was hitting, doing something, and then Vaughn comes up and grounds out to second base. It just, I don't know how much more of a leeway you can give this guy, and if just continue and put him out there. I mean, you got to do something at some point.
But that's all I got. So you can take it away, Tino.
Oh, that's it? Oh, man, that's it? I was having fun, though. But, no, I guess that's all we have for you guys. So, thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to Eric and Mr. BSB Tossed for coming and hanging out in the chat. We do have 51 people in here right now. So if you guys have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. As we have 51 subscribers, but we need 49 more to get to 100 on the Southside Boys. And guys, we're 10 away to 2,900 on Tino's time. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, and let's try to get to 3,000 by Backlash next Saturday. We'll see what happens. But hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button, do all that good stuff. Go follow all the social medias. You know where to find us all. Southside Boys, Tino's Time, everywhere over there. You know where to go. Guys, we'll be back over on Tino's Time tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown and this weekend for some retro. But until next Thursday when we're back here for the Southside Boys, as I said, guys, do all that good stuff. And we'll see you, hopefully, as Deech said, Sox might have 12 wins. I don't know. But I'm just going to enjoy today's win. Guys, have a good week.